Okay, so I'm going to continue this a bit further. Uh, what I've done actually in between is just initialize a Git repository and make a first commit. Make a first commit. I wanted to just kind of mention two things about this. One is that. So I'm trying to kind of not make decisions that unless I absolutely have to make them. And even though I'm trying to do that, in the during this process twice now I've tried to do things that felt like just force of habit rather than again just letting the test tell me what to do. One was when I started to kind of create a class for this app rather than just creating an Express application. And the other was when I thought about extracting the logic to a service, which, there might be kind of good reasons for doing that, but I wasn't doing it because I was being kind of forced to. I was doing it because it's what I'm familiar with. So yeah, just it's interesting the kind of the trying to kind of catch yourself following those things. Anyway. So one other thing to mention is, with this post endpoint, I realised that I could. Obviously, this post endpoint is just got a hard coded number in there. It doesn't do anything. I could have that like that, and then make a request afterwards to ensure that the votes for something have been updated. The votes for movie 1, 2, 3, 4 have been updated. But if I do that, it feels like I'm testing. I'm testing something that's got two reasons to break. It could break because of the post endpoint, or it could break because of the get endpoint, and I don't really kind of feel like I want to do that. So. At this point in time, I don't kind of feel like I've got a good way of testing that, a good thing to do separate to what I've already done. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to wait until there's something obvious that I can do. I guess one of the things I could do is check to see if, we're passing in an array of movies here. I could check to see if that array, if the votes for that get updated at the end of it. That's something I could do, and it might actually be worthwhile us doing that actually. So now I think about it, now I might do that. So I could kind of put in here and put that, and then I could say, given that this is a given that that's given that no, I'm not sure. I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like it's going to be a good test, because if I pass that, if I put that in there, like, so what I could do is something along the lines of that, and I could extract that out to a. Let's do that. Let's see if I can refactor this and extract. Introduce variable. Movies. There we go. So I've got my movies, and I could now do something along the lines of expect movies dot no, in fact, movies 0 dot votes to equal 6. I could do that. But I feel like that's tying my test to this too much, I don't know that this is kind of where this is going to end up, like just like that, but this just kind of feels like it's, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that's a good expectation to place against that, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, so I'm thinking I won't, I feel like I don't want to have to do, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like that's the, it doesn't feel like that's the interface that doesn't feel like that's the interface that I want to be sort of testing, or the dependency that I want to be testing. So I'm going to take that back and get rid of all of that. Leave that as it is. We'll come back to it. There'll be something that we do will allow us to fix that, I'm sure. And if it doesn't, then we can try and do something else to force us to fix it. For the moment, we can now kind of think about. So having kind of got this far, we've got our database. We've got our database that we're basically passing in a list of things there, and we've got this movie database rating. We should actually now be able to, well, actually, hang on a minute. That that number isn't just magically coming out of nowhere. We should be getting that from the movie database. So we probably want a means to say that should be coming from the movie database. So I kind of feel like for this that's okay, but then I feel like I want to be able to say something along the lines of expect the movie database dot something along the lines of get movie ID. Oh, sorry, hang on a minute. That's not what I want. Get movie dot to have been called once with. And then this actually kind of throws up an interesting issue in that I don't have a. Well, in fact, actually, I can just put in that. Let's say, for example, so I need to have a movie database ID, otherwise I can't actually make a query against it. So that shows me interesting that the model here for the database is actually, or for the movie, sorry, is wrong. We need to, let's kind of put that in there. Let's say it's going to be something like 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to be able to put something like that, because that then shows that this thing that we need to be dependent on is being called. You know, in this instance, we do care where that comes from, because that rating should come from the movie database. So TMDB doesn't exist yet, so we can do something. We can do that create variable, and we can make that equal to a. Let's make that equal to a TMDB interface. We can do that, and we can do that, and put create class TBD interface, and that then gets us to the point where we've got. That's fine because that doesn't exist, so we can create. Can't declare method. Get what does that do? Declare method. Does that do it? Yeah, look at that. But that's not what we wanted, is it? Hang on a minute. Let's just delete. Let's just undo that. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to do not create class, create interface. That's it. And now we can say there, create field, declare method. That's better. And now actually we want that to be a, let's call that TMDB TMDB movie. And what did we say the details, right? Vote average, that's what we want, vote average. And we wanted the, so it's going to have an ID, let's give it an ID, just for, I'm just going to declare the things that I'm actually interested in. That's a number, and vote average, that's also a number. So for doing that, that's probably going to return back a promise of a TMDB movie, yeah. And that's presumably going to be, or for this, it's either going to be null or undefined, one or the other. Let's make it undefined. Let's see. It's not ideal to do that, but it'll do for our purposes here. So now we should be able to run that again. What does that say? Cannot find expect. Okay, so we need to, why can't it find expect? I'll have to check that because we should have been able to get that from, just check that it works if I import it. Try and call with it, so it hasn't picked up my mocker setup. Why is it? I've not got that in. That's why. Let's just do that, and then we go back to here and do that. Hopefully, if we run that again, cannot find module. Why does it not like that? Okay. Undefined is not a spy or a call to a spy. Cool. So where have we done that? We've done that here. So we can say tmdb dot get movie equals synon dot stub, and we can then make sure that's imported. Okay, so now we've got that. We can take those two. I kind of feel like that should be defined above. In fact, I can maybe put that below the. No, in fact, I can put that above. That should go up there. Now we can't use that unless we put it as a dependency. So let's put that as a dependency. So at least it's kind of going in. And let's go into here, and we can put, and so if we're going to do that, we don't really want to be kind of dragging that in from here, so let's move those out to a, let's refactor that, extract, no, move, there we go. TMDB movie, let's just move that. That as well. It's complaining because we're not expecting that to be past TMDB, and that's going to be TM. So now that should stop complaining there, but we're still going to have our test failing. In fact, we're going to probably see we've got other errors there, so we can make, what we could do is make that optional for the time being. That should make the tests at least run. Yep, we've got the test running now. And we could put something in here, and we could just do. We could make that whole process async, and we can do something like const movie equals, no, that's not movie, tmdb movie equals tmdb dot get movie. And at the moment we said let's call 3456, and now that passes again because it's being called with that. So what we could do now is update our movie object. What could we do? I think what we can do is go to our movie app. I think we can take that. Off of there for the moment. But what we do need to put in there is a tmdb movie. Let's put the tmdb ID and make that a number. And we're saying we don't want to get that from there. But we do need a tmdb ID, and that would effectively need to be 3456. Let's just comment that one out for the moment. So expected 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. Got that. So what we could do here is tell it that we're going to expect that tmdb ID. Let's not give send up. So we're still assuming it's going to be that, and we're expecting that to come back. So in here we're going to be doing something along the lines of find movie. So let's take that out of there. Put that into there. Movie const maybe movie equals, and now we're going to say get movie dot tmdb ID. Can't do that. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. And now we're going to say in here we want ID maybe movie. In fact, let's just make that const ID name votes equal maybe movie. And now we can put those in there. Why is that complaining? So we're going to need something in here to say on the lines of if not movie return. Let's just put res.send and return. And then we also want to put in there tmdb movie dot vote average. That's going to need to be awaited. tmdb. What was our? Oh, no, we want the rating, tmdb rating to equal that. That's going to be that. So now we can say we didn't get that, and we possibly didn't because we need to set this stub up and say something along the lines of with args dot resolves, and we want to make it so that that actually does do something. So we're gonna type this, and that's going to be ID number, and that's going to be a promise of no, not TMDB, TMDB, so it's movie or undefined. That's complaining because TMDB.movie undefined. That should probably be just like that. And that wants to be with args 3456, and it's going to return back ID 3456 and vote average of, let's put it at 6.5 for the moment, just so we can hopefully see that error. Yep, and then if we put 6.4, hopefully we'll see that pass. So we've now defined the stub for our movie database, and we've got that's being called, returning the correct thing there. There's no type for that, which is slightly annoying. I should really sort of type that. And then we could do the same thing for this. Again, we're going to change that to ID. That's going to probably be something that's 5, 6, 7, 8, so that could be 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, we're expecting to get back that rating, and we're not getting it back. We can also make sure we expect that to be called with 6, 7, 8, 9. So TMDB doesn't exist at the moment, so we can copy all of that. Put that down there. So that still comes back with the wrong thing, and we can change that to a 5, and maybe, no, it's still not going to work. Let's change that back to 6. Let's see it failing first. Let's put TMDB in there. Okay, let's give them back the wrong rating. Let's put that up back to 5.4, and now that's passing. We've got a bit of duplication here with the tests, and I think we can remove some of that, because I think when we get to the point where what we've got is forcing some of the stuff to work anyway. But that's something for us to work on. But at least now we've got the movie database in there. The test is looking quite kind of relatively kind of big and complicated, and that I don't like. I don't like the fact that we've got the combination of the movie database in here and the express stuff and all that. So we could possibly look at something slightly different from this. Look, if we took a slightly different approach to it, I might actually even branch that and call that all in Express. Let's do that. And we'll add that in there, and we'll add that in there. Added support for TMDB. I think that's probably a useful place to stop there. We've got that working. This code, there's some not nice things in here. One, we've got this kind of like how we find our movie. So we've got, if we look at the design of this, you know, we've got our express definition here, we've got our movie kind of database here, and it's all defined. Yeah, the implementation of the movie database is defined at the same level as our Express application. We've got a slightly awkward situation of dealing with the non-existent movie. We've got the logic to deal with the movie database. That's here as well. That's optional at the moment, so that's a bit kind of awkward. In order to kind of reduce the kind of amount of stuff going in here, we've kind of had to destructure things here. We've got no types on the outputs. There's lots of things that are perhaps kind of not desirable about this. So I think the next video I might kind of look at see what we could do. I might look at either just going from where we are now and abstracting some of it away, or looking and see whether we did something, if we made some of those decisions earlier, could we have stopped the tests getting this big so quickly. Yeah.